Everybody. My name is Sarfraz. I am the founder and CEO of Machine Talk. So we are a team of data experts and we are trying to revolutionize the transportation industry by redefining the relationship that people and businesses have with their vehicles. To help me explain what exactly we mean by that, I would like to share with you a couple of conversations that we have had with our potential customers. So first off, we had met with a city official recently. The problem that the city was facing was private vehicle ownership has gone up tremendously over the past few years. This is causing a lot of traffic jams in the city. The city is trying to address this problem by building a metro rail. However, the public won't start using the metro rail unless the last mile connectivity provided by the buses is improved and is maintained. The city official wants to know how exactly he can do that. Another conversation, this was with the family-based logistics company. The owner believes that the business is doing pretty good. His revenues are consistent. The customers are loyal to him. However, the profitability is very low. A lot of transactions that happen on a cash basis are being done by his drivers, and he wants to know how exactly he can monitor these transactions. Okay. And he has been asking us, can you please let me know where exactly my money is going? So Ashok Leyland, CIO, we had met with him recently. So we had asked him, sir, what exactly is your biggest pain point in your aftermarket business? So what he was telling us was, we have fully qualified service stations all over India. So these are the best guys that can take care of our customers' vehicles. However, less than 13% of our customers use our service stations. We want to engage with our customers and their vehicles on an ongoing basis. That will help me improve my market share. But how exactly do I do it? Lastly, this is a Hyderabad-based school network. The parents have been complaining to the school management that the drivers are driving the buses rashly. Right? The school already has a GPS solution. So they have spoken to the drivers, asked them to drive properly. They have asked their ayahs to basically monitor the drivers. However, the problem seems to reoccur again and again. Now the school wants to know how can they monitor the drivers on the field and basically take corrective actions whenever there is an issue. So although these are different businesses in the industry facing different problems, we believe that the core theme of the problem that they are facing is essentially the same. Lack of flow of data between different stakeholders. So who or what exactly are these stakeholders? Vehicles. So modern day vehicles have powerful computers in them. These computers generate a lot of data. This data remains unused in these vehicles. Drivers. Drivers are the people who understand your vehicles the best. However, in a lot of businesses, drivers work remotely. They never engage with their parent company on an ongoing basis. Dealerships and OEMs, they have no idea about what are the issues that the customer vehicles are facing on the field. So insurance companies can only provide limited personalization for the insurance policies they offer because they don't have data about their customers' driving behavior. So agents, brokers, car websites, online websites, so they can only provide specifications provided by the OEMs or qualitative reviews that their users give because they don't have quantitative data about what exactly the vehicles are doing on the road. We at Machine Talk are trying to solve the problem, which is basically the data exists in silos in the transportation industry. And I'm proud to introduce to you VINI. VINI stands for Vehicle Network. VINI is a platform that centralizes the data in the transportation industry and makes it available and accessible to different stakeholders. The owner, the dealership, OEMs, agents, and insurance. To see how exactly we do it, let us take a look at under the hood of this platform. The primary sources of data are basically the sensors in the vehicles, the driver who basically drives your vehicle, the operations team which manages your vehicle, and the customer who basically uses your vehicle. So we connect to them using devices and mobile apps. Some example of the devices that we use are CAN bus connectors, RFIDs, ticketing systems, GPS, accelerometers, and temperature sensors. On the app side, we have an app for the driver, we have an app for the operations team, and we have a customer app. So the devices connect to VINI using an Internet of Things framework. And the data that gets created is processed and stored using our big data analytics framework. The framework itself is capable of handling millions of vehicles and can process billions of data points without breaking a sweat. And in the top, we have apps for different stakeholders. This is an example of a dashboard that a vehicle owner gets. So we have three different revenue models. So vehicle owners, we basically provide them with a monthly subscription model. With dealerships and service stations, we engage with them on a percentage commission basis. With insurance, OEMs, and brokers, we provide them an on-demand pricing model. So I would like to talk to you about our market approach. So we will start engaging with the owners right away. And with the dealerships, we are planning to start engaging with year 3 onwards. And by year 4, we hope to have enough data on our platform that can provide insights to OEMs, insurance, and agents. From a numbers perspective, by end of year 1, we hope to have 1,200 vehicles on our platform. By year 3, 20,000 vehicles, and by year 5, we hope to have 15,000 vehicles on our platform. We are planning to launch the platform by July 2015. Over the past 1 month, without even having implemented our marketing strategy, we already have 6 businesses who are interested to start with our platform. 5 of them are private transport companies, and 1 of them is actually a city public transport. Between them, they have 800 plus vehicles which can actually get onto our platform. We got into this market because it was actually a huge market. The total size of the market that we are trying to address just in India is 5.4 billion USD. By the end of year 3, we hope to have an annual recurring revenue of 2.5 million USD. So over the past 2-3 years, 100 plus companies around the world have started focusing on connected car segment, including Apple and Google. However, the number of companies focusing in this area in India is very few. So the competitors, we look them at fleet management vendors, connected car startups, vehicle tracking systems, and OEMs. We have looked at the solutions provided by our competition, but we believe that they look at solution in parts. So a customer has to shuffle between multiple applications before he can actually get the output that he is looking for. So Winnie is a centralized platform that helps them go to one platform to meet all their needs that they're looking for from a transportation perspective. So if the industry adopts our solution, we will be able to bring in a lot of operational efficiency into the system. Even if we bring in 5% improvement in the operational efficiency, we will be able to save 2.6 billion liters of diesel and reduce carbon emissions by 17,500 metric tons. So why are we the team to basically solve this data silo problem? Because we understand data. We know how to build scalable systems. We are a team of 4 data experts, and we have 40 plus years of data analytics experience among us. Now, if you know what we are building and why we are building it, if you would like to understand our platform better, or if you have any questions for us, I'll take it now. Thank you. Any questions?
Hi, my name is Abhishek. I represent a company called Snowman Logistics. It's a coal supply chain company. So we operate around 700 plus vehicles on refrigeration mode, so which can handle frozen and chilled product category. Now, the major challenge that we face is tampering of these kind of devices which is installed on the machines. So how are you planning to avoid those kind of tampering which is done by drivers?
Right. So it actually depends. Hello? So it actually depends on the solution that you're looking for. So for example, when you're working with the city bus transport, the solution that they're looking for is an automatic fare collection system that is connected to the cloud. Nobody's going to tamper with that. In your case, GPS location. So for example, I'm assuming a driver is not going to tamper with the GPS location much. Okay? But one thing that we are doing is we are basically putting the system inside the system. I mean, under the dashboard. So it is not easily accessible to the driver or anybody. Okay? And we are also making it IP67. We are certifying it there, so that even if they wash it or put water and all that, it will not have an impact on that. Okay, thank you.
No, we have time for 1 or 2 more questions if there are. So, in terms of accessing data from the machine,
yeah.
Does it have any warranty from OEMs?
Right. So that is primarily why we went and met Ashok Leyland CIO. So we are actually working with the product R&D team. So Ashok Leyland has 12 sensors, and they are actually okay with us accessing the data inside the campus.
And about other OEMs?
So we are focusing on the commercial segment right now, so which is basically Ashok Leyland and Tata. And the amount of data that is available is also very limited. So that is one of the reasons why we wanted to start at the commercial segment. Thank you, Sarfraz.
Good afternoon to all. Myself, Sijo Joseph, representing Rons Innotech. Rons is a startup company from Technopark, Trivandrum, Kerala. So, we are operating in the M2M industry. M2M is nothing but machine-to-machine communication. So, the backbone of our products are smart connected devices and remote management. What are smart connected devices? The entire concept what Rons is proposing can be categorized into 2 different circles. The first circle consists of interconnected devices which are connected over an RF channel. And the second circle consists of the remote monitoring tools. And we have a proprietary method for connecting between these two circles. Apart from internet, we have developed and patented a method for transferring the data without the help of GPRS or internet. So here we are demonstrating, showing what is the relevance of this technology in terms of saving power. So we will be adding intelligence to any existing devices. We are doing M2M communication without the help of GPRS or internet. And we can access any device without using a static IP. We can control any device without using a static IP. So what is the business value of this technology? It can save up to 80% on the internet cost and 100% on the static IP charges. And it can save manpower, cost of operations, it improves the quality of the products, and it provides a channel to operate any device remotely from anywhere in the world without using internet. And smart connected devices, it adds intelligence to any existing device, it saves time, save energy, save manpower, and it can provide the reports also. How it works? Here we are showing different use cases of our technology. See, the first one we are calling it as smart e-homes or smart eco-friendly homes. This is a network of solar inverter, solar panels, battery, grid, and different home appliances such as washing machine, refrigerator or lights are connected to smart sockets. So by using, I'll explain how it saves the energy. I'm going to the next use case. Here it is another network where a centrally installed single smart control device, maybe for a gated community, different villas are there. Each home is operating on our technology. Each device on each home is operating on our technology, and only one device is installed for the whole premises. And this is another use case where it can be used for smart lighting. One light will be communicating with the other light, and there also with some logic we will be saving the power. And this is another use case. It can be used for smart metering or for the automated meter readings. And this is apart from energy, this is another use case where it can be used for the OH industry. And here comes a second network where we are getting into each of these circles without using internet. The end users or the manufacturers can get into each device or get the data from each device through our gateway. So these are the benefits. For an end user, they can save more power. We are offering automated solution that can be retrofitted to any device. Any device in the sense, say for making your refrigerator or existing AC to a smart AC, we will be providing a smart box. And if you take the power from the smart box, we can add our algorithm there. Okay. For the manufacturer, they will be getting the performance reports. They will be getting the advantages of remote troubleshooting, and it will be adding value to their product. For the service providers, it saves data charges and static IP charges. It provides reports on demand. It provides 24/7 support, and it is also providing a provision for setting the parameters remotely. I'm going to the next slide where how it is helping the clients to save their operations cost. The key challenges in this industry are the lack of cost-effective solution for the automation. Real-time controlling without static IP is very difficult, and the initial expenses are very high. So we have a solution for all these problems. What is the business value? What is the cost benefits? As I told before, it will be saving around 80% cost on the internet and 100% on the data charges, and it will be saving 100% on the IP charges, and it is having very less implementation cost when comparing to any existing solution. It saves time, energy and manpower. And apart from this, the other benefits are it is adding value to your product, it improves the quality of after-sales service, it provides daily and monthly reports. The market opportunity. M2M industry is expected to go around $200 billion by 2020. And if you consider the smart lighting industry will reach around $56 billion by 2020. Competition. Here we are comparing our solution with the existing market players only in the solar market. So remote operations without static IP is possible in our case. Automated reports everyone is providing. Data transfer without GPRS or internet we are providing. And critical alerts everyone is providing. Remote controlling on demand is our feature. And the implementation cost and cost of operation is very low in our case. revenue model. We have already identified 10 verticals where our technology can be applied. The first 5 are at least we explored or we made some money there, or we are in talk with some of the industry leaders. These are smaller inverter manufacturers, out-of-home advertisement firms, smart lighting, home automation and IoT, and solar water pumps. The other areas are diesel genset, automobile industry, smart metering and automated meter reading, fleet management and asset tracking, industrial automation and control device. How revenue will be raised? We will be selling the remote monitoring and controlling device. And the second option will be, we'll be selling the centralized control units, smart homes, intelligent sockets, digital billboards, or smart lighting control, etc. And the other part of the revenue will be raised from the service charges. Milestones. We started in 2012 in Technopark. In September 2012, we launched our first product. In March 2013, our total sales reaches 28 lakhs. And March 2014, it reaches 91 lakhs. And March 2015, it reaches 1.36 crores. Awards and recognitions. In December 2013, we selected in 10,000 startup program by NASCOM. And in March 2014, we selected by Kerala IT, Government of Kerala IT, Government of Kerala Department of IT for a Europe delegation. And in December 2014, we are the winner of Hot 100 Technology Award. In Jan 2015, we are selected as the Emerging IT Startup by NASCOM. And February 2015, we got the Indian Leadership Award from AIF New Delhi. Market approach. We'll be following both B2C and B2B model for different products. This is an example where the remote monitoring and controlling products will be sold through the consultants or agents, or will be directly reaching the industrial and commercial customers. And for the OH, through the franchisees, we can approach our customers. And for e-homes, we are already identifying distributors and few states. We already appointed the distributors, and through the dealers, we will be getting to the customers. This is the team. Sijo Joseph, myself, the CEO, and Chijo is heading the operations, and Deepu Aravind is heading the ITS service. And our mentors are Krishnendu Sen, he was a CMO of Nolarity. Pradeep Nair, he is the technical director of Broadcom, and he is also an investor in the company. And Priyesh Raghavan is the director of Juicera Softech, and he is also an investor in the company. These are financial projections. We are targeting to sell 6,000 pieces in the first year, and expected revenue will be around 4.6 crores. And on second year, we are planning to double the sales by 12,000 pieces, and we are expecting a revenue of around 10.2 crores. And the third year, it will be reaching some 30,000 pieces with a revenue of around 25.7 crores. Fund requirement. We are planning to raise 2.5 crores. Out of this, 16% will be used for the patents, final specification and certifications, and 12% will be used for infrastructure, office and machinery, and 36% for the initial production charges for the EMS service, and 20% for the marketing and product promotions, and 16% for the initial expense, working capital, etc. In 36%, if you can remember, we are planning for a sale of around 6,000 pieces in the first year, and out of that 3,000 pieces will be manufactured by using this 36%. These are the different press reports which already came in the national BDS. Thank you.
Thanks. We will take one or two questions. We do have time for one question. Jay Warrior from the Bosch Center at IISc. It looks like you're basically using onboard SIM messaging or something to do the communications.
No, we are using the GSM network,
Yes,
but we are not using GPRS or data path or SMS.
right.
We have our proprietary method.
Okay. So
So there is no need to keep a balance in the SIM card.
Okay. But you still need a SIM card, right?
We need a SIM card. It can
Okay.
be any SIM card.
Okay.
But there is no need of currency in the SIM card.
Okay, I see.
And we can reach to that device also. Without static IP, we can reach and control any device also.
Okay.
So how the communication protocol will be established between a device and your control unit?
See, this is a smart plug or smart socket, what we are calling. So for say, for your refrigerator, okay, the refrigerator will be connected to this box, okay, and this will be connected to the power. And from this box, we will be reaching our central device through RF network. We are using ISM channel, 865 megahertz. Okay, from there to our server, it will be connected through our proprietary method, our GSM channel. Any other questions? Yeah, it's already there, and see, we are using it for the past some two and a half
It's already
years.
patented.
It's already patented.
Okay.
It's in pending stage. It's already patented.